welcome back everybody to the GosuCup Asia. Third place decided between, I was about to say Mythtrust. Mythtrust just won. What am I talking about? First Departure and Gameware. Clockwork is on strike. He's no longer in our introduction video. LD is in strike. He's stuck in Oklahoma, of all places. And I'm about to go on strike because we don't have our grand finals right now. It's being pushed back. Orange versus Mythtrust is later. It's not now. But we've got a third place decided. We've got more Dota 2 action. That's the good news. Hey, what's better than one best of three? We've got two best of threes, third place decided, followed by your grand finals, and it's all live now. We're going to hop ourselves right into this draft here between these two teams. We've got First Departure, your Singaporean upcoming team. They've really proven themselves as the one team capable of sort of taking it to Zenith and competing with them in the Singaporean scene. And then we've got, well, one of the stronger Vietnamese teams in Gameware, formerly known as WAM, and here they are in the third place deciding match. They've had a great run here in our GosuCup Asia. And they're up against, well, not an easy team by any means. We're going to see how they manage to cope with our First Departure. First Departure, who did get defeated 2-1 by Mythtrust. They had a good game 2 with the Wisp and CK, but game number 3, they brought out the Doom. They first picked the Anti-Mage, and it did not work out well for them by any means. And the drafts here slightly different so far. They've given away a Keeper of the Light and Darkseer. Keeper of the Light actually somehow made it through the draft last pool. Didn't get banned, didn't get picked. I was absolutely shocked. The world of Dota 2 didn't understand what was going on, but hey, it happened. It happened. And we're going to see whether or not it's going to be something which causes First Departure some problems here. They've given it away, and we can see Gameware look to really build up a strong trial if they want. They've got Keeper of the Light. They can look to get the light. I mean, basically the ideal trial is Lifestealer. You want the Lifestealer with it. Keeper of the Light, Lifestealer, and one more strong support. Something like a Lena, something with a bit of stun or lockdown. Alternatively, you go for a Sven. Keeper of the Light Sven with another support. But I feel Lifestealer is sort of the strongest way to go for that offensive trial lane. And we'll see where they look to head for this. First Departure, on the other hand, I think they'll be more wary about picking up an Anti-Mage right off the bat. The Anti-Mage pick against a possible offensive trial lane with a Keeper of the Light ain't going to happen. Is not going to be all that happy. And we're going to see them go back for the puck. So we'll see Pelosin probably playing the solo mid puck once again. And maybe a carry hero of their choice here. Are we going to be looking at a carry hero? Let's wait and see. Let's see how this happens. Take off my glasses. I'm not taking off my glasses, man. I can't see without my glasses. But yeah, as said, LD is not here. He's actually, I mean, as said, he's somewhere in Oklahoma. He's making his way across the country, driving from Philadelphia all the way to LA. It's going to take him a good 4 days. He should be getting here Monday night. Unfortunately, by then, well, this GosuCup Asia is going to be over. The We Play Dota 2 League is going to be over, but we're going to have tons more Dota 2 action coming your way in March. The We Play Dota 2 qualifiers will be over. The We Play Dota 2 tournament's just beginning. We're going to have some show matches. We're going to have all kinds of fun stuff. And we're going to have all kinds of content coming your way in March. Most excitingly highlighted on March 9th. March 9th, put it in your calendars. We have got the G League Grand Finals between LGD International up against IG Invictus Gaming. And we'll see how that's going to go down. Whether or not the boys from the West can take it to China's finest. It's going to be definitely an interesting game to see how things go down without much more to say there. But right now, right here, I'm on my own. We may be joined by Zyclops next game. Apparently he's casting on his own. I thought he was casting with Sharky, which is why I wasn't casting with him. But we'll see if he can maybe join us for the next game. As right now, though, third place decided. Just game 1. This is still a best of 3 between First Departure and Gameware. There's your Lifestealer. So there's your makings of a trial lane. Lifestealer, Keeper of the Light. They just need one more. They need a lockdown here, and there's really too many to start banning them all out. You can't, if you're First Departure, you can't think, okay, let's just ban out all the potential trial lane heroes. You've got Undying. You've got Lena. You've got Leshrak. You've got too many really to worry about. Rubik is still there in the pool as well. So for them, they're more likely to look to ban off the solo. So they ban out the Nature's Prophet. Darkseer a potential solo mid or side lane solo. So I guess they figure a Nature's Prophet could fit in there. And we'll see whether or not they look to ban in a couple more solos, or at least sort of semi-carry type heroes like Queen of Pain maybe. Heroes that can just cause maybe Puck some problems, or just cause their team overall some problems come mid-game time. Because the mid-game with a Keeper of the Light Darkseid, that team fight is looking pretty scary. But they ban out a support in the Earthshaker. Not really what you'd expect as a go-to support hero. Sure, you've got the nice long-range initiation to guarantee a Keeper of the Light Blast, but all in all, it's generally going to be more likely that you have the Keeper of the Light with some kind of a stunner. You've got the Lifestealer to slow, which really does help a hero like Lina or Leshrac guarantee that their stun lands. And Keeper of the Light, then you with the slow, the open wounds from the Lifestealer, you've got the Illuminate coming in. So we'll see what these last couple of bans are going to be. Gameware, as far as what they're worried about, they banned out the supports. Chen and Leshrac now. The Chen, which First Departure used in their third Game 3 up against Myth Trust, something which I guess Gameware must have finally they've got to sit down and actually watch some games. That was part of the problem up against Orange Esports, is that they'd been constantly playing and they had no idea what Orange were going to bring to the table. The heroes they were banning were not heroes that Orange were actually picking, and as a result, I mean, they just got they were never really stood a chance. The only way you can really stand a chance against Orange is if you've done your homework, you know what style of play to pick, how they're going to lane it, and that was just not the case when Gameware went up against Orange. But here, they've had about an hour or so since they lost to Orange to actually check out Game 2, check out the end of Game 2 at least, and then check out Game 3 of First Departure up against Myth Trust. So they've seen 2 of First Departure's drafts. They've seen them play Chen, and as a result, that's where this ban comes into play. We may see them look to ban out the good buddy of Leshrac, the Lina as well, the follow-up son for a Shadow Demon. But I imagine for the most part, First Departure aren't looking to get super aggressive with their tri-lane. They're up against the Lifestealer. Getting a Shadow Demon Lina type combo up against the Lifestealer, I mean, is not going to be all too successful. You've also got Keeper of the Light to blast down these supports, so all in all, it's not going to be a great case scenario if they do look to go tri-lane versus tri-lane. And I think that's where we're more likely to see a safer style of laning coming out from First Departure. And then we're going to be the last ban, and that's because I think Gameware is sort of expecting them to go a bit more passive with this style of play, with this laning. The chat's great. I'm loving this chat. Calicot's apparently a top 440 mod on Twitch TV. That guy's a mod absolutely everywhere. He's taking over Twitch TV. Twitch TV may as well just like employ him, offer him a job as like a universal moderator. But that's neither here nor there. But it is going to be a 4th pick now coming up for First Departure. They ban out the Weaver as their last ban, and now the 4th pick is in their hands. The 2 main junglers, Chen and Enigma, taking out. They could go for an Enchantress, but that's more like an aggressive early game centric jungler, or at least sort of a semi-carry type jungler. You can scale well into the mid to late game with some decent items. So they're just going to pick up the support hero, the Lina. But as said, I don't think they go super aggressive, even though they've got a Shadow Demon Lina. I think it's just too hard to do that against Keeper of the Light Lifestealer. They probably look to go for a defensive tri-lane, and if they're up against the offensive tri-lane of Keeper of the Light Lifestealer, then they look to use pulls. They don't look to fight them head-on, because fighting that tri-lane head-on is going to be problematic when you've got a setup of a Lifestealer who can rage out of the Lina stun, and the Keeper of the Light sitting at the back blasting down Shadow Demon and Lina. So, well, Rubik is the last pick. So there's your last tri-lane here. I mentioned they want to have something like a Lina or a Leshrac stun, but with Lina, Leshrac both, I mean, 1 pick, 1 ban, they're forced into another support option, which is going to be the Rubik. Oh my gosh. Freak out, panic. What's going on, guys? I think I just, like, my computer, like, died for a second there. It's just, my computer went to sleep mode, it seems. My computer went to sleep mode, but luckily I think the cast is still alive. Let me know if everything's okay. I think everything's all good. But yeah, we're here in your 3rd place decided for the GosuCup, sponsored by MSI as well as Gigabyte. And this is going to be game number 1 of our 3rd place decided. Storm Spirit, there we go, something to wake me up. It's been a long day of casting. I started at what, 9 o'clock? It's only been 6.5 hours, but I feel like I've got like another 6 hours ahead of me, so the fun is just beginning. The fun is just beginning. We've got at least, well, we've got 2 best of 3, so that's at least 4 games, possibly even more, depending on how those 2 series go. This series I definitely expect First Departure to take it 2-0, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gameware at least took a game off them. They didn't really have a good showing up against Orange Esports, but that's any team in Southeast Asia. You go up against Orange Esports. Zenith went up against Orange Esports and got, Orange just wiped the floor with them. There was a 3-0 stomp coming out from Mushi and co. So I think getting beaten by Orange and getting stomped by Orange is no real big surprise for any team. So for Gameware, it probably wasn't really a good showing of strength from them, and this is really going to be a much better test to see where they stand. And Obsidian Destroyer, or Outworld Destroyer I should be saying, is the last pick for them. They're going to be sending that mid, it looks like, against the Storm Spirit. This is something different, and it's YOLO. Our boy YOLO playing that Outworld Destroyer, so he's going to be going down, I believe, towards that middle lane. You've got Darkseer as your offlane here. You've got Keeper of the Light, Lifestealer Rubik as your tri-lane. As we're going to hop ourselves into this game now, as it looks like the two teams should be ready to go. Am I spam clicking my mouse? I shouldn't be spam clicking my mouse. It should be all good. So yeah, two teams going to unravel here. We'll have to see where First Departure look to lane things, whether this is a solo mid Storm Spirit, or possibly we just see Puck as the solo mid. I like Puck's new tag, Game Thrower. It's fantastic. So yeah, hopefully I need to click less apparently. But yeah, we're going to introduce our two teams now. First Departure over on the Radiant side. They just fell 2-1 to Mythtrust, the boys from Singapore. We've got Miracle, the weakest link, headed towards the top lane on the Lone Druid. Towards the mid lane once again is going to be Pelusin, the Game Thrower, playing the Puck. I think somewhat disappointed in his performance from last game, and it's the anti-mage from last game. Oh my homies. Also the weakest link. I don't know how you can have two weakest links, but apparently they're going to be battling over it. Lone Druid and Storm Spirit are going to be having a feed off this game. See who can throw harder, who can be... Well, the throws are going to be coming from the Puck apparently, but who can feed harder maybe is going to be coming from the Storm Spirit as well as the Lone Druid. Then we've got the two supports. We've got Lubby playing the Shadow Demon, and then finally Hoot A, the Chen from last game, playing that Lina. Over on the Dire side though, we have got the Vietnamese side. We've got Kim Yang playing the Keeper of the Light. We've got Lifestealer in the hands of Enel. We've got further down, oh no, not further down, further up, we've got Yang Mi playing the Darkseer, and then finally for the tri-lane we've got Cold playing the Rubik. And then rounding off this Gameware Vietnamese side, we've got YOLO, my boy YOLO playing that Outworld Destroyer. He's headed down mid lane. I have to see where Darkseer looks to go, if he's going to stay bottom, but it looks like he's going to be headed top to go 1v1 up against this Lone Druid. The tri-lane is going to be an offensive one. As, Two teams are ready to get underway now as the reconnect has come in for Gameware, and yeah, as said, tri-lane versus tri-lane at bottom lane. So for the two teams here, this is going to be really, to me, the deciding lane. This is, unless we see some big individual plays coming out from heroes like Puck or OD or Lone Druid where they get some solo kills, this bottom tri-lane versus tri-lane could be a really is going to be the key lane. For the Dire team, the key thing is they need to block this pull. They need to prevent First Departure from using this pull.
30 seconds.
Are their Sentry Wards up? That's the first big question. There's Sentry Wards on Shadow Demon, so he's going to have to be sure that he basically de-wards is. That's what First Departure, that basically lost them the game. If there's one thing which was the biggest issue, I have to focus on one thing which they could have done better, that could have won them that last game, it was the de-ward here. They messed it up. It was planted in a place where they failed to de-ward it, and that really cost them that bottom tri-lane. It meant Anti-Mage got left as a solo hero. They sent the two supports up top to help the Doom, and that's something they can't afford to happen here. So they need to get this D-ward off successfully. We'll have to see whether or not they can do so in just a second. They're probably not sure. It's okay if it gets blocked once, because you're never going to be sure if they're going to be offensive trailing, although it looks like they should know fairly soon. Sentry Wards actually... two Sentry Wards both being planted here. Generally, you want to save one of these Sentry Wards. This is something I would have liked to see. You see them save, because when they de-ward this, you can then de-ward their de-ward and block it once again using your Sentry Ward. It doesn't last a full 6 minutes of the Observer Ward, but just blocking it once or twice can help out a lot. Shadow Demon will spot out this has been blocked off in just a second, or at least he should. He needs to get that de-ward happening soon. bottom lane. It is going to be Stormstreet as that safe lane farmer. We'll see how he does. This is, as said, going to be the key lane. Middle lane, we have got the Puck versus the OD, and top lane is going to be a Lone Druid up against the Darkseer. Not really much potential for kills at top unless Lone Druid, maybe at level 5, can look for some big entangles. Combine that with something like a Poison Orb build, and ooh, there's your first sentry. Out of range. Lubby goes tangoing through. This is where they had issues last game. They couldn't find the D ward. He needs to find it. They're pinging down here. That's where it was last game. That's where they got screwed over last game. I think he's going to drop another sentry here. Should be able to find it. Just needs to make sure he puts the sentry far enough away. There we go. That's going to be in range. So they get that D ward off, and now this bottom lane they can use this pull. They have to wait for the 2-minute mark, but that's okay. When you're up against this Trallon, that's okay. But the main thing is they just sort of stabilize this lane, and this is really the problem in this Trallon versus Trallon. The Keeper of the Light continually illuminating through. He's forced to pop his one and only clarity, actually. Generally, you see Keeper of the Light get at least a couple clarities for this level 1 blast spam, especially in offensive Trallon, but he's about to hit level 2. Then he's got the Chakra Magic, and he's not having to Chakra any of his teammates. They're conserving their mana. Just needs one more creep kills for that. Top lane, we're actually seeing some big creep skipping coming out of here from the Darkseer. Taking up the tower as well. Taking quite a bit of damage. We'll have to pop a salve off. As he does want to get that soaring out as fast as possible. Lone Druid, just a 4 creep kill. So really struggling as far as farm goes, but the dire side, the 2 solos there. OD at mid and Darkseer at top, not struggling at all as far as in terms of farm. Ooh, bottom lane. This is where the Shadow Demon Lina combo just doesn't work out. You've got a Lifestealer in an offensive Trallon. You can't try and go on him. If you want to try look to get offensive, you have to go around and try find the supports. Or at least just take a chance and go diving past the Lifestealer. You have to look for the supports because he can rage out of that every time. They do waste 75 of his mana, but I feel the mana is a lot more precious on the Shadow Demon at this point, and the Lina. That's 120 of his mana every time. It's a third of his mana. For Lifestealer, I mean, well, you're looking at about a third of his mana as well, but he's got the Chakra Magic on his side to continually rejuvenate that, if need be. So far, as things are starting out, we haven't seen this pull actually being used. They de-warded it, but they're not using it. Which to me is a bit of, well, not a mistake, but it's what they should be looking to do with this bottom trialing. Deny XP and farm from their opponents. They don't even have to stack it. Just pull it once, and then tango through, double pull it. And then they can deny some XP. Keeper of the Light just being a complete pest, trying to pull the wave away. Maybe that's what happened last time they went for the pull. Keeper of the Light could have maybe potentially blocked it off like we just saw him try to. But the pull now going to succeed. And Stormstreet will have to farm under his tower, but he's got Remnant. That's going to help him out there. Much like you see Mushi go for Quelling Blades on heroes like Anti-Mage and Faceless Void to help him last down the tower. Remnant does sort of make up for that. As now Gameware, they come in just to help contest this pull. Make sure they don't get a double pull off. Because that's, I imagine, what First Departure were hoping for there, although they have already chewed through all their tangos. This is the problem up against the trialing of Keeper of the Light. He chucks horses at you, and then you've got to use your tangos. Shiny little horses. Purian Flax, check out his video. He actually did a guide to Keeper of the Light recently, which is pretty hilarious. And it basically explains why this hero is somewhat bullshit. And we're seeing it right here at bottom lane. Storm Spirit takes another Illuminate, and that gets him down to about half HP. Keeper of the Light chakras himself back up, and well, end of the day, it's it's a good trade at bottom lane that Gameware are getting. I feel they're slowing down this Storm Spirit farm quite significantly. Just 7 and 4 creep kills. The 3 top farmers in the game are all on the Gameware side. All 3 of their lanes are doing decently. This is where having a Keeper of the Light as an early pick is just so big. You can go in offensive trialing and just do what they're doing now. And look at the damage this T1 tower's taken. It's down below half HP very early on. And it's, I mean, sure, this means maybe they push a fast T1 tower. It's like, oh great, Storm Spirit can now farm a bit safer, closer to this tier 2. But problem is he doesn't have levels, so he can be ganked. Until he's level 6, he can be easily ganked by these heroes. He's not getting much XP in this bottom lane when they're sharing it around between 3 heroes. We'll have to maybe see a rotation coming in from this Puck soon. Puck at mid does have a regen, is getting close at level 6, but for the time being, I've got to say Gameware have had a fantastic start as far as these lanes go. They're trying so hard to block this. They wanted to get that pull off. They pulled it too late. It was like 20 seconds past, but with a little bit of blocking there, they managed to get a couple of those creeps over. A partial creep pull. which almost can work better because they can deny both of these. If they pull the whole wave, generally you don't deny as much because what's going to happen is you just kill it before your creeps die. When it's a single pull, that is. But with that partial pull, they do get some more denies. Gameware now. They've got the fast phase boots on this Lifestealer. Quick look at top lane. Lone Druid's hit level 6, so Miracle. He's looking to farm away. He's behind Darkseid by a decent margin right now. Darkseid, Soul Ring, Ring of Regen. It looks like he's going for some Tranquil Boots here with this Ring of Protection, unless he's just going to look to go for that mech with this Ring of Regen. But I imagine some Tranquil Boots going to be coming his way. He's got enough gold for them now as well. Puck finds a DD rune, and here comes the first rotation of the game, and it immediately as Puck hits level 6. Hits level 6, goes towards the top lane. OD should have made some mention to his team about this. Needs to let his team know that, hey, Puck's missing, and he's going for rune. Could be either bottom or top. And he probably would have seen which direction when he left the lane. It's one of those things you can sort of tell which direction they're likely to head, and the top lane is closer. This rune's always closer, so as a solo mid, you generally check the top rune first on the Radiant side. You head up top, and he's probably going to tell his team that, because he hasn't seen Puck back at mid. If the rune was bottom and Puck went top, he'd sort of walk past through the lane and OD would see him again. So I imagine Darkseid may expect this. The question is whether or not he's going to play as safe as he needs to, because this is going to be dangerous for him with Puck coming in. Has he actually been spotted? No, he's been spotted. I don't even know. I'm just rambling. I remember someone saying like 15 minutes ago, like, Gosh just rambles like a freaking idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Because I think that's actually quite true here. Because Puck has just been spotted by some dire creeps. Puck just rotated top. He's going through this jungle. I mean, you wouldn't expect there to be creeps here, but he gets spotted out. That rotation is not going to succeed in doing anything. As said, I'm just rambling. Forget about OD needing to call missing. Puck just walked into some creeps at top lane. Achieved absolutely nothing. I mean, Darkseid knows what's going on now. Puck's going to still try and force the issue here and try to get a kill out of this, but the opening's already been lost because, I mean, Darkseid, he may not know there's wards here behind his own tower, but he does know that something is amiss. Tranquil Boots, he brings him on the courier, knowing he can't get to that side shop. Takes the safer option, as we'll keep an eye on this bottom lane now, as the excitement at top lane seems to have dissipated. Storm Spirit now with 1200 gold. We'll see where he wants to go with this. Probably just look to pick up some fast treads, I imagine. There's another DC coming out. And for the people asking, the grand finals of this GosuCup between Orange and Myth Trust is going to be later. That's going to be after this third place decider. The third place decider is going on now between Gameware and First Departure. Your grand finals, Orange and Myth Trust, well, that's on a bit later, as said, and that's going to be, well, hopefully what we the big match we've all been waiting for. We've seen a lot of Orange esports or Orange Neolution esports throughout this GosuCup. Unfortunately, no one's been able to really put up a fight against them. Myth Trust, well, probably the biggest name after Orange in this GosuCup, not qualifier. Sorry, what am I talking about? You've got First Departure here as well. We didn't have Zenith showing up. Zenith decided to sit this one out. Despite winning the last two GosuCups, they decided not to play this one, and as a result, it's Orange's GosuCup to lose. They've had an easy route to the grand finals. Myth Trust have dropped a game to First Departure, although they did win the best of 3, just losing the one game in doing so. But Myth Departure are going to have their work cut out for them to beat Orange Esports, who are just in tip-top form. Everything about that team is just perfect. Ahayo is a solo mid player. He's got great game sense, great lane control. I mean, it's one of those things where they moved Mushi to this carry role, and it really suits him better. He spent a lot of time in the mid-game farming and going around just getting lots and lots of farm as a solo mid, like on heroes like Queen of Pain, which wasn't always for the betterment of his team. Sure, it made his score, and his score normally get completely huge, and he'd be ridiculously farm and carry games as Queen of Pain, but all in all, it's just not a stable way of playing. They need to go for a reliable carry, which is now what he's playing. The Void, the Anti-Mage, these types of heroes. Luna last game. Then they have the mid Ahayo, playing heroes like Tinker, Queen of Pain, Puck, and it's working out a lot better overall for this Orange Esports squad. And then KYXY has really adapted well to that off-lane position. And now you've got pretty much the best support duo there is. You've got the Net and Extinct support duo there. It's really a strong team. Myth Trust, well, They've got the Kells. They've got one of those. I mean, he is sort of the carry when it comes to Asia. Outside of Orange Esports, when you look at Bushi, you've got the Kells, and he is the big name there. Arba, a great solo mid, and overall, I mean, we saw TNK play a fantastic lifestealer. So we'll have to see whether or not Mythtrust can take him on. That's a bit later though. As for the time being, guys, first departure up against Gameware. We'll see whether or not this game can be taken by first departure after bouncing back from a loss against Mythtrust, or whether it's going to be Gameware, who got completely destroyed by Orange. But that's not really as demoralizing. If anything, the losses in the semi-final, it's harder for first departure because they're like, we were so damn close. They were so close to getting in the grand finals and didn't make it. For Gameware, it's like, well, we never really stood a chance. And Gameware are looking to sort of bounce back here because they're going to find a kill on the Storm Spirit. There's going to be a TP in. 3-man Dream Core coming out from the puck. He's going to actually all onto the Rubik. Will finish off the Keeper of the Light. Now looking to get to work onto this Rubik. Does have a double damage rune doing huge DPS here. Lifestealer does get away with the phase boots here. He's now on the run. Rubik. Sorry, Rubik, not Rubik. Puck. Not going to be able to keep up with him, but 2-for-1 trade. But I think that's still okay for Gameware. They get themselves. That's even a first blood. I didn't even realize that's a first blood. Very, very late first blood at that. 8 minutes into this game. First blood goes to Gameware. They give up 2 supports, but they kill a carry. Even if that's not first blood, I still think it's an okay trade getting the kill on that carry. Because they also force a TP from Puck. And while Puck TP's in, OD's getting more free farm at mid lane. What is this OD got? He must have a lot of farm. He's Ogre Club? YOLO with the Ogre Club. I mean, it's okay. It's just so defensive. It's almost like too defensive for my liking. I'd rather see a 4-staff, which is great. It gives you survivability and some defensive capabilities. But the straight BKB that we may be seeing, I'm not convinced. About this item build. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but the 4-staff is just so great. As far as defensive items go, it can be used as one. It also gives you extra damage. It also gives you chasing. Which can be, so it's a very versatile item because you use it for killing as well as being defensive and running away. Gameware now, they're looking to work away on this tier 1 tower. Puck forced to TP him once again, and this time it's not to gank, this time it's help keep this tier 1 tower alive. He actually isn't going to manage to dodge that Keeper of the Light Illuminate. Takes quite a big chunk of damage there, will bottle up though, so he's not too phased by that. And now, the tier 1 tower push at bottom lane, going to continue here. Puck going to maybe come around from the side. His Dream Call is back up, actually. He's being spotted out by this Observer Ward, though. I don't think they've got any Sentry Wards here to deal with that. Lena maybe going to bring some. Any Sentry Wards? Yeah, they got Sentry Wards. They know it's warded behind the tower. They're expecting. I think they either saw it get planted or it was kind of revealed by all the aggression. The timing they had on the Storm Spirit gank when they first blooded him. Hero we haven't... I mean, this is a lane we've been completely unnoticed. Darkseer up against the Lone Druid. 47 creeps to 51. And Darkseer, some of his look like they may be neutral, so it should pretty much dead even between the 2 solos at top lane. Oh, this D-Ward could get punished. Sentry Ward is down Rubik. Ooh, no, he's not going to go in. Shadow Demon and Lena, take it out and take it out fast. Lifestealer, he's just going to go diving in for it. There is a telekinesis here. They're not too sure if they want to go for this because Puck has come in. He's going to hit another 2-man Dream Call. TP immediately coming from the Rubik. Keeper of the Light doesn't have the same luxury and he's not even going to get the TP out. Lena stunned from the other side of the trees. 2 kills, both to Puck. Pelosin, the game thrower, is definitely throwing the game to his team because he has just managed to pick them up 4 kills in a row. 2 Dream Calls and 4 kills out of it. Fantastic movement around the map. TP's coming in from him. He's swinging things in his team's favor. YOLO, this is the problem with the OD pick. Nothing against Gameware. I like the pick, but this is its limitation. It's not a mobile hero. It's not a ganking hero. It's a hero who needs to just farm at the mid lane. They don't have the ability to gank and alleviate, help out this bottom tri lane versus tri lane. But Puck, every time he's got Dream Call, he's going to look to go to this tri lane. He's going to look to kill off these support heroes. And now we've got a level 6 Storm Spirit. T1 Tower does go down. It actually gets denied by the Storm Spirit as well at that. As, oh my homies. He's slowly starting to catch up here. He's got himself up to 900 gold. Probably going to look up to pick up some Intel Treads maybe. Maybe even just an Talisman or 2. Storm Spirit manages to dodge that. Yeah, I was about to say, how does he know? Observer Ward is there. That should be a good telltale sign for the Dire team. He's like, wait, Storm just dodged the Keeper of the Light Blast? They should be expecting some Observer Wards here. Either down here or up here. Although it looks like they don't have too much interest in dewarding for the time being. They'd rather invest their gold into getting some items up on these support heroes. Rubik now level 5, Keeper of the Light level 5, so it's a level 3 Illuminate. Some strong damage coming out from that. The problem is Keeper Light's getting completely caught out and isolated. Puck is there as well. Will have a silence for some additional damage. This will be the end of King Yam with one more right-click. Dream Call as well. I think he saw that magic wand and started to panic. He's like, oh wait, do I actually have enough damage? Are we going to even get this kill? And uses the Dream Call just to make sure of it. Lone Druid. Straight Maelstrom. 12 minutes in, he's got a Maelstrom up, so going for this more cheaper build, not trying to go for the late game Radiance. By no means a bad choice either at that. BKB straight for OD. He's got the BKB recipe. He's going to have like a 15-minute BKB. But the problem is, it's hard to get the lockdown. Where do they get the lockdown from to actually kill off heroes? And they haven't got any great initiation, really. I mean, Darkseer, you've got a vacuum wall, but it's not going to keep heroes in place. They haven't got too much stun and disable apart from a telekinesis, and that's only a short, what, 1.75 seconds. Oh. This could be the end of lifesteal. There's a Purge if they want to slow him down. There's a TP scroll. Just needs to TP. He's not going to do so. He's actually going to try to fight his way out of this one. He's actually going to make a poor decision in doing so because he gets taken out. Shadow Demon gets the kill. He needed to just rage and TP there. He even had a TP scroll. Level 3 rage, 5-second duration. Plenty of time to get a TP off. And now First Departure looking for more kills. It's Pelosin once again. He's been involved in 5 kills and taken all 5 of them, and he's after more at top lane. He's going to team up with this Lina if he can have his way. Rubik is there. Once again, it's the supports. These supports have just had a miserable time here. They're being constantly caught out. He's going to get burst down. His Puck's going to actually go right into this Darkseer. He does have a Dream Call if he wants to use it. Needs to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage from Yangmi's Darkseer. And doesn't actually have an orb here. This is problematic for him. He's going to drop the Dream Call, but it's going to drop it too late. He's going to have enough damage from an Iron Shell. Darkseer finishes off the kill. Lone Druid now going to come in from the side. He's going to Maelstrom. Surged out by the Darkseer. Help keep him alive as Lone Druid now going to back himself up. Needs to get back to his own tower. OD trying to rotate in. This is once again the issue with this OD. He can't gank. I mean, he can, but it's so difficult to actually get damage off. Unless you have Lifesteal slowing a hero, combine it with a telekinesis, that's really the lockdown they've got. And, I mean, the counter gank, the counter lockdown is just far superior. Disruption, as I said, you've got Purge to slow heroes for long duration. I mean, that's a much better slow than having a Lifesteal open wound. Then you've got the Lina stun. Then you've got an Entangle. Puck with the Dream Call. There's such great lockdown coming up from this Radiant team. We may see them overextending here. It is going to be an OD coming in. He's going to get Purged, but there is a Surge. This is the one thing which can help him with his movement speed problems. It's going to be the Surge. He's going to need this Surge in almost every team fight if he wants to make sure he doesn't get kited around. I mean, OD, as a range hero, you wouldn't expect to get kited around. He doesn't have full 600 rage, just 450. And more importantly, he doesn't have a 4-star. Mid lane, Puck, looking to team up with the Lone Druid, try and deal with this tier 1 tower. Keeper of the Light is there, though, with an Illuminate and OD, the Outworld Destroyer. He's come on in, he's getting very close to this BKB, and he wants to finish it. And he is going to have that in this next team fight, I imagine. With that said, I imagine when they see, for First Departure, they're going to see this BKB and think, let's just avoid fights. We don't want to take on this OD with a BKB. His damage output is going to get pretty damn scary now. He's got a level 2 ultimate as well. His net worth is, well, I believe, I was about to say leading. Yeah, it will be leading. He's just got his items coming on the courier, so net worth not taking that into account. There's bottom lane, and now that's the other thing with this Gameware side. They're not just all in on this OD. They've also got the Lifestealer. They've got a backup carry in him. He needs to make the right decision here. He needs to just rage and TP. Rage and TP. TP. He's not TPing Lifestealer. You've got to TP out. He's going to try and infest into a creep here. Problem is he's now going to get caught out here. There's your Storm Spirit pull. Lina, stun Laguna Blade, burst down Lifestealer. I wish I could just click it for him. It's one of those moments where I'm like, dude, you're not going to win this battle. It's not happening. And sure enough, he did not win that battle. OD going to find himself a DD rune, actually, at bottom lane. As Lifesteal, second time he could have got out with a TP scroll. It's one of those things where you're thinking, well, I've got this rage. I can just rage and fight them. They're not going to kill me while I'm in rage, and sure, they're not going to kill you while you're in rage, but they wait it out. They don't let you. You're not going to kill them while you rage. That's the problem. And as soon as that rage wears off, they finish you off. And it's happened a couple of times in succession now. And now this is getting Storm closer and closer to his Orchid. And once he's got an Orchid, they don't even have to worry about the rage. They can just straight up silence him, prevent him from raging off any of these nukes. I mean, you're not going to be able to dodge a Lina stun when you're silenced. And it also guarantees you can get the pull-off from the Storm Spirit. So Lifesteal's going to be having a pretty miserable time once that Orchid Malevolence is up on Storm Spirit. First Departure up, 8 kills to 3 now. But they are behind on gold. 1,500 gold lead going the way of Gameware, the Vietnamese side. And that's with this Tier 1 bottom tower having been pushed. That's pretty much the difference as far as gold goes. So for the most part, it's very even between these two teams. Recall that. 15 HP. You've got return. Use it. He's almost teasing. He leaves it there like extra long. He could have used it even sooner. Teasing Gameware to go and chase it. I think he actually thought it was dead. I think he just left it for dead more than anything, but it wasn't the case. He's going to resummon it now. And this Tier 1 tower at top is going to be the next target for Gameware. OD's at bottom. Juking out with the Storm Spirit. Not really a fight Storm Spirit's going to win here. He's got... Oh, sorry, that OD... Well, Storm Spirit's not going to win this, but OD's not going to be able to get the kill on him. There's enough mana to fly away and just TP out. And top lane, it's this Shadow Demon combining up with the Lone Druid and just looking to sort of hold this Tier 1 tower as long as possible. And they're not really committing to this Gameware. They know they can't. They don't have the real deep damage to actually take on this Tier 1 tower, especially when you look at the ability for Lone Druid, the Spirit Bear to tank things up, Puck just to throw down the orb whenever possible. And First Departure winning these engagements. They've got this Puck now with this decent early game start. He hasn't got a Blink Dagger just yet, but just having this level 10, having the maxed out orb as well as Silence and Waning Rift, it's going to give First Departure a strong edge in any fight. And if you can find a big silence here just by orbing in, it's going to be fantastic for them. Not to mention getting very close to level 11.
Dire's middle tower.
Puck doing his best to hold this tower, just clearing out the creep waves as well as possible. And once again, Gameware not look to this Tier 1 tower push. Like Keeper of the Light's happy to keep being a complete and utter annoying douche lord as he blasts them down once again. And now this now this top lane is, I mean, it's been this continual slow siege, but it's not even really a siege because they're not really getting much damage done to this tower. So I struggle to even call this siege. They're actually just going to pipe up and look for the kills. Shadow Demon is going to be the one they want to go on. Shadow Demon doesn't have mana for disruption until he pops this one. They walk into the Darkseid Wall of Replica, and OD finds himself with a huge sanity as a clip. He's going to bring down the Puck as well. 2 kills. As buyback going to come out from both Shadow Demon and Puck. They really want to fight this. First Departure have decided that Gameware have overextended, so they are going to buy back for this. The early pipe from Darkseid gave him the opening to go diving in, but problem, here come the buybacks, and they've lost the 2 supports. Keeper of the Light and Rubik have both gone down. Yang Mi now going to go down as well. He's trying to stay on his wall. He wants to fight in this wall. Lina taking a lot of damage. Will finish off the illusions. Barely. Oh man, great engagement from Gameware. The problem is, there was buybacks. They killed off 2 really quickly, but First Departure knew when you dive this far in, when you're going down here, you can TP to the Tier 2, you can TP to the Tier 1, and then suddenly Gameware gets surrounded. They're in this 5v5 scenario where it's like, oh, we just threw everything at getting these 2 kills, getting a 5v3, and then the numbers gets turned around on them. So it was just a bit too much of an overextension, and something that you often have to take into account. Buybacks can be used at times like that just to sort of turn around the fight, and it was really smart of First Departure. They knew that once Gameware had got those couple of kills, buybacks would just turn around that fight with relative ease, and, well, they did so very easily. And once again, Gameware, it's top lane. This Tier 1 tower, they've really got like a personal vendetta against this Tier 1 tower because they've been trying so hard and for so long to take it out. Now, problem is now Puck's got a Blink Dagger, so the initiation potential coming out of First Departure is going to get a lot scarier. Oh, Lone Druid, his bear is going to get caught out here. Oh, almost had it. I was about to say, with that said, almost got a return off. No resummon as well, so I think with that we may see this Tier 1 tower just get left. More than anything, they're not in position to defend it. Puck was there. They had Puck as well as Storm Spirit in position to defend. Maybe they go for it, but it looks like they're just going to give it up. There is a glyph, and there's a glyph, and they're going to actually try and pop that. Puck needs to be very careful. Can't actually blink out in time. Darkseid blows the Wall of Replica, although he will ensure his team get this Tier 1 tower, I believe. Keeps First Departure at bay. Lifestealer gets the Tier 1 tower. Gets himself close to that armlet, but, well, mid lane. Oh, Storm Spirit as well as Lone Druid. They've gone on the OD. They will bring him down just in time. BKB was popped. He was trying to TP out there, but there was just enough right-click damage, even without the Spirit Bear. Lone Druid says, I can just go man mode, battle cries himself, and just gets that extra damage to try to take on the OD and succeeds in doing so. Now it's going to be an engagement coming out from the Puck from the side. He will look to go on. We'll see a counter gate coming on the Storm Spirit. Vacuum back in. He's completely out of mana. He has managed to magic wand himself up to about 50 mana. Escapes just narrowly. Lina going to take this, I believe. Well, sorry, take the fall more than anything. But TP's out just in time. And, well, Gameware, they're so close but so far. Every time they're just getting heroes narrowly TPing out. And Pelosin, he's turned around his bad game from last game. I think he was disappointed. He changed his name to Game Throw after his poor last game, and here he is, 8-2-2, having a fantastic game here up against the Vietnamese Gameware, and now he's going to look to finish off the Keeper Light. Nope, Magic Wand keeps Keeper Alive alive. Keeper Light's actually finished off a mech, so this is why Gameware are really trying to take it to first departure. They have this mech and pipe. They have the mech, the pipe. They've also got a 4-star BKB on their carry. They're thinking, hey, we should be able to win a team fight. We've got both mech and pipe. What have they got? The Radiant team, well, I don't think they've got mech or pipe. What they've got is just this strong hero composition that's really working out well for them. This great engagement that we've been seeing coming out from the Puck time and time again. Storm Spirit's timing his engagements. He's also got this Orchid up, and they're making up for their lack of teamfight items in the mech and pipe in other ways. By having some smart positioning, by having Lone Druid, the Spirit Bearer in front, tanking and doing a lot of damage. And, well, I think Gameware are just trying too hard to force the issue. They're getting too impatient. And their slow sieges just aren't really being very cost effective. They need to look to sort of pick off a hero before they look to push, and that's going to come from going for a smoke, maybe even taking Roshan, getting an Aegis here, because, well, a 5v5 fight out in the open is going to go in Gameware's favor. They've got a Darkseer. They've also got an OD with a BKB. This is not really going to be a case where, hey, first spot are like, hey, they're Roshan, let's go take a 5v5 fight with them. No, that's not going to go well for them. All they've got is a Puck as far as their team fight's concerned, and the only time First Departure are getting good positioning in these team fights is when they're defending their own towers. They have the defender's advantage, then it works out for them. But around the Roshan pit, Gameware can do fine. And this is another case where they can look to get some pickoffs. They need to go for these smokes. Find someone and just jump and capitalize on their jump and capitalize on it. Sentry Ward's being dropped, so wary of anything. Invis Runes, anything that can come their way, as well as some high ground Observer Wards that they thought they might just be able to de-ward. Lobby, I mentioned they don't have a mech. It looks like he's going to try and make one for his team on that Shadow Demon. Not even worried about Arcane Boots right now. And, well, First Departure are going to quickly realize that Gameware are up to something, because this top tier 1 tower is undefended. It's being gifted to Miracle. He's going to get it uncontested. Here comes the rotation here. It looks like the smoke is going to rotate towards the top lane Storm Spirit. He completely abandons it, and Lone Druid, well, easy kill for Gameware. He's not going to get out of there. But he gets a tier 1 tower and he's buying time and space for his team. Storm Spirit, well, clearing out some neutrals. Looks like he's going to start working on his Bloodstone. Mid lane, you've got some supports getting some farm XP. Bottom lane, it's Puck. With Blink Dagger, Treads, as well as an Invis Rune bottled up. We'll have to wait and see whether Puck goes for the ultimate orb into a Sheepstick or looks to go for the 4-star. I'm wondering what other imaginative Puck builds we could be seeing here. But I think Sheepstick is the way to go against a Lifestealer, unless you want to get a 4-star to help out your team. Being able to kite your opponent's DPS dealers around to the fight can really help out a lot. Puck has gone Invis. Ooh, Sentry Ward is there. And Puck's going to walk right into it if Puck's not careful. That Siege Creep just hit Puck. He should know. Telekinesis is there. Oh. He didn't notice. The Siege Creep attacked him. The Siege Creep attacked him in Invis. He was just slow to react, I want to say. All he had to do was react. He had to make sure he didn't get hit by the Telekinesis. Once Telekinesis found him, he was dead. There was enough burst damage coming out of Lifestealer, even without an armlet at this point. Speaking of armlet, it must be soon. Lifestealer's really struggling as far as farm goes. I mean, with 26 minutes in, no armlet just yet. He's going to have it after they finish off Roshan, if they can do that. And it looks like it's going to be the OD who's going to be the main primary carry here. Shadow Demon just trying to scare them off more than anything, but... And it's succeeding. They pop the mech and, well... First Departure are going to find their opponents no longer in the Roshan pit. They didn't really have the proper tanking going on. I think they were just a bit worried with how much damage Lifestealer was taking there in the Roche pit. Even with Puck on the sidelines, they were like, okay, let's get out. Puck's respawning soon, and this T1 tower's still up. That's a real big issue. Puck respawns, he TPs in, and he's so close to the Roshan pit. He's easily able to contest it. And another smoke. I like this decision from Gameware. Oh, they're going to have Puck walk right into him. The Telekinesis lands once again. Looks like Puck actually gets a phase shift on, but Telekinesis doesn't land maybe. Shadow Demon Disruption on himself, and he's going to get burst down as well. 2 kills going to go the way of Gameware. Do they go into the Roshan pick? Do they look for more kills? Look at this Lone Druid. They're going to have to deal with mid lane. They can't just go into Roshan. They have to deal with mid. Lone Druid needs to be careful. He can't stay too long. If he gets caught out here, he's going to be in all sorts of trouble. Storm Spirit at the mid lane. He's got an Orca. He's trying to actually fight the lifesteal here. Mech enemy popped out. Keep lifesteal alive. He's silenced up as well. Oh man. Silent has been stolen by the Rubik. Of all heroes, I'm like, who has a silence on this dire side? How are they actually silencing off the Storm Spirit? He stole Waning Rift. That is a fantastic spell to have stolen, and now they're going to get the Lone Druid as well out of this Gameware. Catch first departure out of position in a number of different places. The 2 heroes they picked off in the jungle with the smoke was one thing, but then they definitely shouldn't have got the Storm Spirit or the Lone Druid there. Lone Druid should have been able to time that TP out in time to safety. Storm Spirit, well, I don't think he expected the Waning Rift to have been stolen by the Rubik, and Rubik coming up with the big plays. Cold, the support player for Gameware. And now, well, slow and steadily, they're bringing down Roshan. This is not the easiest Roshan that we've ever seen. As Keeper Light does mech up this Lifestealer, who does have his armlet finished now. One thing would maybe help them out a little bit. You need to get that open wounds in. Puck. Trying to chase on him. Ooh, Puck, what are you doing? Too far. Telekinesis just out of rage. Is back up now. Puck just gets out before the telekinesis comes in. If that telekinesis hits, Puck gets burst down very quickly. Just some obsidian damage. I mean, pure damage coming out from those arcane orbs. 2.5k gold now in the Darkseer. And Gameware, I imagine, starting to build up a bit of a lead. XP-wise, look at how far they were behind. They were behind by over 7.5k XP, and I reckon they're ahead as well. They're not ahead as far as gold goes yet, but they're pretty much back to dead even. They were well behind, but these last couple of fights have gone strongly in their favor. As where's going to be the next couple of fights and engagement. Bloodstone not up yet for the Storm Spirit. He's trying to finish that one off. OD, he's got his ultimate orb, so we're going to see the start of the making of a Scythe of Ice. A gem as well? Some dewarding going. Yeah, gem for the Darkseer, so they're going to start getting complete map control as well. Deward on this high ground should happen. Keep it light. You can illuminate for vision if need be, but he's going to just drop an Observer Ward. And now, the defense of this top lane. I imagine first departure, if they were thinking about pushing, they think twice now. They don't have vision there. They've also, I mean, when they did have vision, they spotted 3 or 4 heroes. So they get Miracle to start pushing this bottom lane. This T1 tower is actually going to get denied by this OD. There's, that's going to be some missing goal. Oh, Lone Druid! I say it gets denied, and well, Miracle says, I don't think so, gods. What do you know? What do you know? And with the OD TPing bottom, they're actually going to engage in a top lane. Smart decision from first departure, if they can succeed in doing so. Puck finished off the Rubik Storm Spirit. Disruption keeps them alive a bit longer. Darkseer Wall of Replica being dropped off here, but it looks like it's too late for Gameware. They've already lost Rubik, and they're unable to lock anybody down without this OD. Although OD without a Sheepset can't really lock anyone down either, but he's the one who can burst off heroes. Even with the small lockdown you get from a telekinesis or the slight bit of slow from an open wounds, you need the OD there to deal the follow-up damage, and without OD they're not getting those kills. Lone Druid trying to just chip away at this tier 2 tower. Battlecry Rabbit doing as much as possible. Gets down to about half HP. Ooh, OD. He knows the Lone Druid is somewhere nearby because it's still attacking the tower, but unless there's a TP in, he's not going to be able to get the kill, even if he finds him with that Astral in prison. Lena continuing to stack these Ancients for his team. Every little bit he decides is going to help him out. As Shadow Demon mechanism is coming piece by piece. He's got the max out Shadow Poison. And this is going to help him get some farm of his own. Actually, he's heading back to base. Maybe he's actually got this mechanism at base. Yeah, Buckler's there, so he's finished this mech. 31 minutes in. Lone Druid's finished his Assault Crest a couple minutes ago. I had it for some time, although haven't commented on it. Full stuff actually up on Keeper Light. Ton of farm with this Keeper. That's where Gameware are really looking solid. There's the supports farm here. Keeper of the Light with a mech and a 4-star. Rubik just with Arcane Boots, but that's your 5 position support. You've got the Darkseer with, well, Pipe, and he had a ton of gold last I looked. He's starting to build towards a Shiver's Guard, I imagine, with a plate mail. And he's got this gem up. He's getting the map control for this team. Oh, top lane. Storm Spirit completely out of mana. BKB actually being popped. OD drops an ultimate. I think it came too late. Either it came too late. I think it just doesn't do damage. He doesn't have low enough intel for it to do any damage. The way this works is they need to be low enough intel. And if the enemy hero takes less than the damage threshold, they lose mana, but I don't think it did enough damage. Because the intel difference between the Storm and the OD wasn't enough, or he may have just TP'd out in time. I need to check my trusty battle log. Where's my battle log? My combat log. I don't know how that thing works. Someone in chat's gonna be like, come on gods, this is how it works. But yeah, Gameware missing out on a kill up top, but that's not a huge concern for them. It's still buying them time to farm, get these next big items. OD getting closer and closer to his side of the Vice, and Gameware going to go back to what's worked out well for them so far. These smoke ganks. Last time they got 4 kills out of it. That was really the big turnaround for them. And they're going to look for this lone druid at top lane. He's got a TP, but oh, runs the wrong direction. Miracle. I think he saw it coming. He's going to TP out. They're not going to find him in time. Vacuum isn't going to come. Oh, it's too late. They ran the wrong direction. That was a bit of misfortune. He force-snuffed up, and I don't think he could see the lone druid. Or maybe lone druid saw him, but he didn't see lone druid. I'm not sure what the night vision range is of these heroes. Some heroes have longer night vision range than others, but OD did not spot lone druid. He ran down when he needed to run up to get that astral imprison off. Stroke of luck going the way of first departure's miracle. As now the bottom lane being pushed down. It looks like the Storm Spirit just leading the charge, knowing that there's not much that can bring him down. Until there's a sheep stick up on this OD, he's pretty carefree. All that they can really do to get some damage dealt on him is a telekinesis followed up by some DPS coming out of OD, but that alone isn't going to do enough damage to kill off this OD unless there's sort of 6 heroes pounding away on him. And he just has to be careful that he doesn't get hit by a telekinesis. And top lane, Miracle's back once again, playing very, very aggressive with his positioning and his pushing. It's almost like a Zenith style of play. It's all about split pushing, and they're happy to give away a hero, have a hero get picked off here or there, as long as they're getting trades around the map, as long as they've got the split push happening in other lanes, other heroes farming. So if they commit 5 heroes to ganking the lone druid, they say, okay, you can have him. That's a kill you can have because we're making up for it elsewhere on the map. We're getting farm on the Storm Spirit, on the puck. We're getting this item progression. Sheepstick coming up on the puck. Storm Spirit's already got his Bloodstone. Probably going to be looking for a Sheepstick neck, maybe even a BKB. I could even go for a Lincoln's if you want something to block the OD Sheepstick, but I'm trying to look what are the big single target spells. Yeah, a Lincoln's would actually be really good this game. The 2 big spells that it's going to be blocking is the Sheepstick from the OD and the telekinesis, and blocking both of those is going to be really essential for this Storm Spirit. The one thing which is going to be annoying is if it blocks something like an open wounds from the Life Stealer. So Life Stealer is going to be looking to basically break the Lincolns, and same for the OD. He's got the Astral Imprisonment, but as soon as the Astral Imprisonment breaks the Lincolns, you know that sheep is coming and you have time to sort of zip out of there. So all in all, Lincolns does work well here for Storm Spirit. Could go for a BKB, or you could just go for an all-in disable lockdown build. Go for a Sheepstick now, and have that additional disable to help basically ensure that Lifestealer and OD don't go too rampant in the fight. But they've already got 1 Sheepstick coming on puck, and that's coming up quite fast. He's got 1500 gold with this Ultimate Orb and Blink Dagger, and Tread's already finished off. As, well, Reconnect is going to come out. Keeper of the Light is back in the game. Kim Nyan, ready to go. And I imagine we'll see an unpause coming out shortly. This is the GosuCup Asia, guys, for those of you wondering. Number 5. I think it's the 5th and final GosuCup Asia, at least for this edition. We may have another 5 coming out, or who knows what. Storm Spirit, he's fallen in on mid lane. He actually was looking for the OD on his own. Never going to be a smart decision to go gank on your own, although he's not really being put in danger. As said, until this sheep sticks up on OD, until we have a sign of the Vice there, it's not really a case where they can turn that around and get kills on the Storm Spirit. He's now got a Mystic Staff though, so his DPS output is going to be a lot higher. Yang Mi, Lifesteal is still infested in him. Handle now going to just go back towards the top lane, look to get some farming. I like what Lone Druid's doing. Miracle, well, he's not leaving this top lane, he's just hiding. He knows as soon as these heroes go missing, they're going to look to maybe smoke gank, look to push mid lane. Mid-tier 1 tower's still up, and then once they go for that mid-tier 1 tower, Miracle says, okay, let's try counter push. Let's make you come back and defend this tier 2 tower. Something these Singaporean teams love to do is split push. Zenith sort of perfected it with their sort of tinker drafts. And here we have Miracle and First Departure doing a similar style of play here with the Lone Druid and with the Storm Spirit as well. A hero who's really hard to gank and pick off. Lone Druid a bit easier to kill if you can find him, but with the way he's playing now, he's not really getting caught out too much. Storm at mid, 1500 gold on him. Shadow Demon's finished off the mech some time ago. Puck, 2k gold. Lena, gem up as well, so the Radiant team now get a gem of their own, looking to gain some map control. Make sure it's not just Gameware who have the gem and have the map control. And Dark's not the best for de-warding because of that melee attack. Puck going to have a level 16, level 3 ultimate coming into play as well very, very soon. And once again, split pressure coming from First Departure. They've got 3 heroes bottom, chipping out this tier 2 tower, and Lone Druid top. Although he's not pressuring a tower, he's looking to, he will eventually. He's not worried. He knows that he can now farm safely and push towards his top lane, because with 3 heroes chipping at this tier 2 tower, it's suddenly a case where Gameware have to defend it. Speaking of defend, Gameware, and he only just got out of there, and now he's going to get sheeped up. The Sheepsticker's now up. This is where Storm Spirit says goodbye. He gets burst down. Lifestealer. The armlet toggle was there. It was like some armlet toggle, and he also attacked creeps. I say attack creeps in a good way. Storm Spirit silenced him up. He couldn't actually rage. He couldn't rage. He couldn't get out of there. He couldn't infest, so he attacked a creep to give him some extra HP. The lifesteal he got from attacking a creep helped him out hugely. Oh, Park. Park caught in no man's land. He's going to try Orb his way. He's actually going to try bring Keeper of the Light as well as Rubik with him. Keeper of the Light cannot win this fight. Doesn't have a mech up for the time being. Does have a 4-star. And OD's coming from behind with a BKB as well as a Sheepstick. Drops an ultimate. Lubby on the run. He's already taken out the Puck. Can he take out any more? OD not going to chase. As I realize there's a big threat coming in towards the other lanes. It's the Lone Druid. He's now on the run. He's going to get, well, he's going to get slowed by an open wound, but he's going to immediately TP out. There's no stuns. There's no lockdown, and he gets out of there. Okay. So, all said and done. Smart play coming out from Miracle. Times that TP. Once the vacuum gets used, he knows that he can escape safely. And the big problem is the Sheepsticks now. The OD Sheepstick, it's already got him 2 kills. He's used it twice and it's gotten him 2 kills, 1 each time. Storm Spirit, well, Mithril Hammer. Oh, where did you go, Storm Spirit? He goes flying onto the Lifestealer. Does a bunch of immediate damage. Armor gets turned on, though. And now he's going to try to turn this around. Doesn't have enough damage to immediately bring down Storm Spirit. Also, there's a bit of extra mana there. Mana Leak being popped here. Completely out of mana is Storm Spirit. He's really misjudging the amount of damage he can do there. And, well, oh my homies. Is getting a bit rattled or something here. I mean, bit of a mistake coming out from him. And Gameware just using this time to capitalize, get some more farm. Not only the Sheepstick up on the OD, we've got a Shiver's Guard finished on the Darks here. We've got a lot of item progression coming on these heroes. Lifestealer. He's got 3k gold, so we're going to be looking at a Desolator, maybe a Basher. Maybe even some kind of defensive item. He may have said, I've had enough of getting jumped on by this Storm Spirit. Let's go for something defensive to help me get out of it. BKB. That's what the Mithril Hammer is for. So, Storm Spirit knowing that, well, OD can always burst him down in these fights. If he wants to go into these fights up against an OD, Rubik Telekinesis, even Mana Leak, BKB is going to be needed. And we're going to see Gameware finally look to take out this tier 1 mid tower. It's been up for so long. It will get glyphed up. It's already in deny range here, so one way or another it will go down here. And it's going to be the OD who picks it up, so more gold into his pockets. As First Departure continuing with this split push. They've got Miracle at bottom lane with an MKB finish on his Spirit Bear. Problem is, it's going to get very, very squishy as this game goes on. The Spirit Bear, that is. And, I mean, with an OD, whatever plus armor you have from the Assault Crest isn't going to matter. This Arcane Orb does pure damage. So that Spirit Bear is going to be very, very squishy. One Telekinesis or Open Wounds on it, and OD is just going to be like, sweet. Easy kill.
Regeneration.
So, for the Radiant team, they can't really be relying entirely on this Spirit Bear's damage as sort of a way of carrying them. Got to have Storm Spirit, as well as Puck delivering some goods as well. Mostly in the form of disables and lockdown. Oh, top lane. Shadow Demon caught in no man's land. Look to be doing some very offensive warding here. OD Sheepstick's already been used. He's actually going to get sheeped up himself. We'll see if OD gets brought down. Does, but BKB needs to pop that. Does do so. Both heroes popping the BKB. It's Storm Spirit as well as OD. Neither can really touch the other, and Storm Spirit's going to look for some other targets. Find the squishy. Finds the Rubik, and now he's on the run though. He's down to about 400 mana. Needs to see if we can get a mana leak coming out from Keeper of the Light. We have a disruption up. Keeper of the Light, mana leak on cooldown for 3 more seconds. He's going to fly up. He's going to try TP out of here. No range for an Astral Imprisonment actually on cooldown, I should be saying. And a okay fight. I mean, they lose 2, but it's still an okay fight for first departure. It's still Lone Druid farming near the bottom lane. Gets his tier 3 tower down quite a bit. Loses a good chunk of HP there with the Lone Druid just constantly harassing it, chipping away at it whenever possible. There's OD now looking at Roshan Pit once again. With another small skirmish one, they're thinking, okay, let's get ourselves another Aegis. And Basher is the item of choice for the lifesteal with all his gold. I have to see who they look to put Aegis on. I mean, you imagine it's going the way of the OD. But with the way that the Radiant team is spending a lot of time focusing down the lifesteal, and the BKB being up on the OD, it may not be the case. Uh-oh. Sheepstick is going to catch up the Storm Spirit. Can they bring him down fast enough? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Mana Leak being used here. Storm Spirit, you've got to be careful, very careful with that mana use. He's got BKB back up now, and Lina is going to be the target. OD dodges the Lina stun, comes back in for a pipe, and, well, now they go back into the Roshan Pit. Storm is going to scout this out. This is going to be the big YOLO Aegis still. Can he get it? Lifesteal's going to find the Aegis. Storm Spirit going to BKB out of there. OD going to try chase him up. Oh, Storm Spirit, you got to be careful. He flies back into the Roshan Pit. Doesn't have a TP out of here. He's very low on mana. It's going to be NL, the Lifesteal, who's picked up the Aegis. OD, huge! Sanity's a clip. Takes out one. Only the Lina, but 2 other heroes very, very low. Puck as well as Shadow Demon taking a lot of damage. The Hex is back up. This will be the end of the Puck. Puck goes down, and the chase is now on. Can they find any more? They're already gotten way out of there. Storm Spirit says, get me out of here. Shadow Demon says, beam me up, Scotty. And OD says, well, thanks for the kills, thanks for the easy game, because we are now going to push down your middle lane. They're going to start looking at these tier 2 towers. There's still 4 heroes up, but I think Gameware are going to start getting themselves some confidence. They've got the Mech and Pipe, they've got a Shiver's Guard, they've got so much damage and lockdown coming out from this OD now, who's got up to 4.3k gold. They've already used up this Aegis though, so we'll have to wait and see if we see a counter initiation coming out, but problem is, Puck is on the sidelines, and that's their one big initiating hero. Lone Druid, he's great for split pushing, but he's not great for team fighting, because this Spirit Bearer is going to get so squishy. I have to wait and see how squishy it is in these team fights if he sends it in. I'd love to see OD try and just focus it down, because I think with his damage, it's going to be really hard for first departure to take a team fight. They can't just send the Spirit Bearer in. The Spirit Bearer has to be, Lone Druid has to be very careful with his timing of sending Spirit Bearer into the fight. They want sort of the attention to be on the Storm Spirit, who's going to pop the BKB to help keep himself alive, as long as he doesn't get sheeped up. Even if he gets sheeped up, we need to see something like a 4-staff coming out. We haven't actually got any 4-staffs. This is where a 4-staff is great on the support, because if Storm Spirit gets sheeped up, you can force him away and prevent some of that focus fire going down on him. So, no 4-staff on Shadow Demon. Gone for a Ghost Scepter instead with the mech, and we'll have to see where Gameware look to go with this. 43 minutes in here, and our GosuCup 3rd place decider. After this, we've got your grand finals. Orange Esports up against Myth Trust. But for the time being, we're in our 3rd place decider, best of 3. This is just game number 1, though. And it's looking good for the Vietnamese side. Gameware, well, currently in the lead. Lone Druid, cheeky. Creeps are in mid lane. There's no backdoor protection.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Very, very sneaky. As first departure, well, they're looking to just continue this. I mean, basically it's a game of split push for them. Split push and, well, I mean backdoor to some extent. Let's see if they can do a bit more damage, as we just saw. And the Dire team, another pause coming out. It looks like a couple of disconnections actually. Most teams have had a few issues here and there throughout this game. Unfortunately, that does mean the Orange and Myth Trust best of 3 grand finals is being pushed back here and there. Darks is back in the game. We still need Shadow Demon, Lubby. He's had a solid game, 1-3-9. Not enough credit given to some of these support players, and all in all for first departure, some of the support players been really spot on for them, keeping them in this game. There's the actual difference between the two teams. It's First Departure still slightly edging out their opponents, but every time every time it looks like First Departure is starting to pull away, there's a big team fight that goes the way of Gameware, like we just saw. The XP difference, what difference? There is no difference. 10 XP separating the two teams. Literally 10 XP. There is no difference separating these two teams as far as levels go. There is a bit of a gold league going the way of First Departure, and that's with Gameware taking 2 Roches. Problem is they haven't been able to take outer towers. 2 tier 2s remain while they've lost a tier 3. And all their outer towers are gone. Not to mention this tier 3 at bottom line taking a lot of damage. So the gold difference is essentially those 3 towers. The 3 tower difference, which is in First Departure's favor, is pretty much sums up this gold difference between the two teams. We'll have to see where Lifesteal looks to go for next. He's probably just going to look to turn this Basher into an Abyssal Blade, and then you have the ability to actually kill this Storm Spirit, even in BKB form, and that's where it's going to get very, very problematic for First Departure. And I imagine with the BKB being picked up, Lifesteal's thinking, okay, this is definitely a game to go for the Abyssal Blade. Get that Sacred Relic as soon as possible. As there's the reconnection coming out from Lovey. Pelosin, he's looking to do some split push and back direction of his own. Bottom lane Storm Spirit. Let's see where he wants to go next here. I imagine just a standard Sheepstick. The Scyther Vice. I mean, when you're looking at what you're up against, if you want to be bringing down OD, if you want to be jumping on the Lifestealer, OD especially, if you want to go on him, I mean, you can't just silence him off. He's got a BKB. The Sheepstick is going to be the lockdown you need. Also help keep him in place for this Lone Druid to do all the damage, because with OD not being disabled, he just bursts down this Spirit Bear. And without the Spirit Bear in the fight, well, if you lose the Assault Crest, it's terrible. But the amount of DPS this Spirit Bear is dealing is, I mean, pretty much a primary source for First Departure. They can't really afford to have it taken out of the fight, at least not without doing a good deal of damage before it gets focused down. OD at top has finished off a complete Lincoln, so you talk about going a Sheepstick against this OD, well, he's got a defensive item to help deal with that. Puck's got one, and, well, it's going to be partially blocked and dealt with by this OD. So smart build coming out from him. I definitely like this decision to go back for it. Not only has he got the BKB, he's also got the Lincolns. You can block the Sheepstick, buy yourself time to pop it, or if they look to use something to actually get rid of your Lincolns and then use a Sheep afterwards, you have time to use that BKB. You have that warning when the Lincolns immediately gets popped. So if you're fast enough, if you're ready for it, oh, once again, Lone Druid, he's immediately tipping out. There's going to be a lockdown. Vacuum came just a millisecond too late. Very, very close for the Lone Druid. He almost went down there. He does manage to get the tier 1 tower. Sorry, tier 3 tower. Buys himself another TP, and he's good to go again. All these tier 3 towers down. It's a game of backdoor now. Oh, wow. Top lane. Puck gets caught out. Sheepstick and Telekinesis. That's the lockdown you need if you want to bring down a hero like Puck. But this is, once again, it's all about split pushing and trading. They get a kill on Puck, but hey, they're going to get forced back. There's no way they can look to turn that into a push. Although they are going to find themselves getting jumped in mid lane. They're actually going to take advantage of OD not being here. He's going to come in now. His Sheepstick's on cooldown for a couple more seconds. Storm Spirit pops a BKB here. OD's looking for blood. He may just go on this Spirit Bear here, but no, it's going to be a disrupted Lone Druid coming out in just a second here. As OD trying to fight his way out of this one, taking a ton of damage. Sanity's Eclipse comes out, but he's already gone down. OD on the sidelines for 90 seconds. There was enough damage to bring him down. Lone Druid, it's the Spirit Bear. It was one of those cases where he just fought, and even though he did go down, he did take the Obsidian Destroyer with him. Unfortunately for the Radiant team, the Lifestealer is the backup carry. With OD down, Lifestealer, well, he's there to save the day. He's got the Abyssal Blade now completed. Finishes off 3 supports, and Lone Druid buys back. Comes back onto the playing field, but this is not really ideal scenario for First Departure. Losing everyone except the Storm Spirit, as well as buyback gold being invested into that fight. An unnecessary buyback to some, well, not an entirely unnecessary buyback. Even though he's not buying back to come into the fight, it's to help basically as fast as possible. He's got to go back to split pushing. He wants to get back on the map, farm out his own neutrals, and look to find a lane where he can split push. Figure out where it's safe. As Gameware going to smoke themselves up. Roshan's still down for a good amount of time with all these pauses. It feels like it's been 10 minutes since Roshan died. It probably has with these pauses, but It's now going to be another smoke coming up from Gameware. It's where they've had some great success as well. And the Lifestealer. Not going to completely go towards the enemy jungle. They have got this gem here. They'll soon spot out this observer if they go venturing a bit further around, but with just 4 heroes here, I think they're maybe a bit worried. OD's still on the sidelines. They don't want to commit. If they find themselves in a 5v4 fight, well, that could be game loss right there. Lifestealer, no buyback as well at this point. 47 minutes in, it's really becoming a very tense game between these two teams. I have to see where we go from here if you're Gameware. They have to find a way to push out these lanes, deal with the continuous split push that First Departure is throwing at them. And so far, well, they've had mixed success. They've had their tier 3 tower getting backdoored. They've narrowly missed kills on this lone druid a couple of times, but the backdoor brigade is going to continue. We've got Puck hiding in the trees here. They have to catch on to this at some point. He orbs and then he TPs. Like it's one of these things where they're expecting him to be in these trees. Vacuum as well as Force House being thrown. The problem is for Puck, the more he does this, the less he can use those trees as a hideout. They're going to start predicting that he's there. Shadow Poison's actually been stolen. So they can just keep on throwing that. So they're going to start predicting Puck maybe being in these trees and just sort of throwing off warning shots. So he doesn't want to let them know. It becomes sort of a psychological late game where it's like, hey, remember that time Puck was in those trees and he then just orbed and TP'd out? Well, maybe he's in there now. Let's just scout it to be sure. And it's something which Gameware can really... they'll take a mental note of that. They'll say, okay, Puck's spending a lot of time in trees. Lone Druid was doing it earlier up here as well when they were looking to push this top lane. So as Gameware realize the positioning and where these First Departure heroes like to position themselves, they'll look to capitalize that later. They can look to smoke, and then if they smoke here, they'll reveal the fact that Puck's nearby, or maybe a Lone Druid. So
regeneration.
As this game goes on, if Gameware can adapt to the way First Departure are playing, it does benefit them. OD, he's got Lifestealer teaming up with him. He's sort of acting the bait at top lane. I think he's almost hoping for Storm Spirit to go flying in on him. And Storm Spirit, well, he's considering. He hasn't quite got enough mana, it doesn't seem. Oh, OD, Puck, Dreamcall is going to be lost. We're going to have to see Storm Spirit go flying in. Is there going to be a BKB pop from the OD now? Lifestealer comes out. They're going to burst down Lubby. Not the hero you really want to burst down, although Puck, it'd be great to finish him off. Now comes Storm Spirit. He's going to actually go on the Lifestealer here. OD going to do a ton of damage if he's not dealt with, though. That's really the hero you need to get the lockdown on. And it's Rubik who's actually going to get surged up. Uh-oh. What's Lone Druid up to? He's taken a melee Rax. He's taken 2 melee Raxes. Oh, Lone Druid. You sneaky son of a bitch. Oh man, Lone Druid is just doing what Lone Druid does best. It's backdooring. Puck going to be caught up in the trees here. They kind of know what he's up to, but Lone Druid has to be dealt with here. He's got TP scrolls, but he hasn't got the mana to use it. He's going to pop the Ghost Scepter. They're going to try to chase him down. Is there any additional lockdown? Is there any way of rejuvenating your mana? He's just going to try and fight with using his Spirit Bear here. He's about 20 mana away. He may just have to pop a rabbit here. His mana leaked up. He will go down. He's going to DC. There's no way out of this. He's dead regardless. But, boy. What's going on top lane as well? Can they get another tier 3 tower and potential Rax? It's a game where, I mean, you feel like they should be winning this game. With the amount of farm their OD and Lifestealer have. Lifestealer less so, but OD especially. He's leading on net worth. Storm Spirit is up there with him, but all things said and done, I mean, it feels like Gameware are doing better in these fights, and the kills show that. But as far as positioning goes, and as far as actual overall game flow goes, it's First Departure who are pushing down towers, and now it's 2 sets of Raxes. Lone Druid just snuck in there. I'm just like watching this Storm Spirit getting ready for him to roll on top of the OD as well as Lifestealer, and the entire time it's Lone Druid who's going in, getting the bottom as well as middle melee Raxes. And I love his decision making. He goes for the bottom melee Rax and then he swings mid. He doesn't even worry about getting the range barracks. And disconnect coming out from a couple of the First Departure players. It looks like they've been having some computer issues all day long, because continual disconnects, and it seems like, as they said, PC hanging. So some slightly low spec computers, not able to fully handle Dota 2 at times, maybe. As we will see. We'll see Lone Druid drop here. I don't see any way that he can be kept alive. I mean, Storm Spirit can come flying in, but I'm thinking like best case scenario. He has got a sheep stick, so maybe he goes flying in, but it's just very, very risky. They see the OD at top, so maybe they actually look to save him. We could see an attempted save, but it's really very risky. You've got a wall of replica as well, but I think even if we have Storm Spirit flying in, either way, Lone Druid should be dead. But Storm Spirit could maybe look to turn things around, fly in, sheep up the life stealer, and you can actually burst him down. So we could see. I imagine we may be seeing that. I mean, they have all the time in the world to talk. They just got to do some quick mental math and say, hey, how much damage is Storm Spirit doing flying in? Can we actually save Lone Druid? And the quick answer to that is, no. I don't think they can. There's enough damage coming out from the Keeper of Light. He's actually channeling an Illuminate here, so... no, he's in Spirit form, so we'll have to cancel that one. But yeah, Illuminate, Iron Shell, as well as Lifesteal with some damage. So this Lone Druid's dead. It's just a question of whether Storm Spirit goes flying in. And I think the answer is yes, you want to do that. There's no sheep sticks. They see the OD top. They don't have to worry about him sheeping up Storm Spirit and doing some big damage. Storm Spirit can pretty much kill this Lifesteal, I want to say. Maybe, well, if not, he can kill this Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light has Heaven's Halberd. This is one of the most farmed Keeper of the Lights. Well, I've seen some very farmed Keeper of the Light. What am I talking about? Some games when they go late, it's always Keeper of the Light who has a ton of farm somehow. As Yang Mi says, we're ready. And it looks like a unpause is going to be coming out. Storm Spirit. No, he's not flying. He's going to fly in on top. They're actually going to go on the OD. Need to keep an eye on him. The Lone Druid will take a fall, and it's going to be a gank on the OD. OD does have a BKB, but he pops it too late. The Sheep Stick was enough. It bought him enough time. OD immediate buyback. Storm Spirit going to go fly up into some trees here. He's going to get mana linked as well. Pull back. The pull has been stolen by the Rubik. Rubik pulls him back, and Storm Spirit goes down. He hasn't got many Bloodstone charges, so it will be a slow respawn. And with Lone Druid dead as well, this is kind of, well, as good a time as any if you're Gameware, if you want to look to push out these lanes. Go for a 5-man mid. Either that or they look to take Roshan. Get a Cheese and Aegis. So the next time First Departure are coming at them, well, they have a couple extra lives to play with. It looks like that may be the route they take. Oh, there we go. Roshan respawns. Are they actually going to go in though? Or they're going to look to push out mid? No, they're not going to... I love this. Puck. 250 HP. Still split pushing. Not a care in the world. Quickly blinks out. Okay, a couple cares. But meanwhile, his team, well, sorry, meanwhile the rest of the Darkseas team are dealing with Roshan. Cheese and Aegis going to be coming their way. Definitely see one on the Lifestealer. Probably Aegis going the way of the OD. At this point, OD is much more important. Yeah, he takes the Aegis, and that gives Cheese to the Lifestealer NL. And for Gameware, the problem is they fight. I mean, any head-on fight, 5v5 fight, they win it. Any sort of even small equal scale skirmish, 3v3s, 4v4s, they're going to win. They have the better items. They have, well, at least, I mean, the stronger carries, the lockdown. The issue is this Lone Druid is just backdooring. I mean, he's split pushing. He's being an all-around nuisance to them. And that's something which they're just not really having the ability to deal with right now. Well, for Gameware, well, we're going to have to see what they can do. YOLO, time is running out, man. 8-3 and 8. He's got an Aegis, so he's not staying true to his name, unfortunately. But for Gameware, I'm loving this. Late game Dota is just hilarious when you see the item builds on these over-farmed support heroes. I mean, Darkseid's not really a support. He's a kind of utility hero, but he's got his Shivers, a Pipe, a Boots of Travel, and he picks up a Talisman of Evasion. I imagine we're looking at a Heaven's Halberd. Probably going to see a Heaven's Halberd here. He doesn't buy it yet because he wants that buyback gold. If he buys the Sanch, he won't have enough gold for buyback. Keeper of Light already has a Heaven's Halberd. Combine that with a Ghost Scepter and much, much more. And then you look at the Radiant team. They haven't really had the same item progression on their supports. Blink Dagger up on Lina is really the only sort of luxury item we're seeing. Lone Druid, what's he got? He's got Ghost Scepter, Vlad's Boots of Travel. Nothing new there. His Spirit Bear's still packing the same punch, and it's top lane where he's focusing his efforts. They see they've got the racks, one rack's at mid, one rack's at bottom. But this isn't really enough to seal the deal yet for First Departure. They're not in the clear yet. It's still a lot of potential late game coming out of this Gameware side when you've got an OD. Although he doesn't really have many item slots. Like, he has nothing really, unless he sells this 4-star. He's bought Boots of Travel now. That's what he's just bought. I'm about to say, what's all this? Where's all this gold gone towards? And it's Boots of Travel. Lone Druid TP's down towards the bottom lane. Boots of travel all around on the carry heroes when we get to these split push style again. Boots of travel is just so essential. And for Gameware, keeping these range barracks alive is actually quite a big thing here. They do help slow down the push. I mean, not giving your opponents those strong range creeps, and not to mention, I mean, it's just getting that bit by bit closer to mega creeps. Having those range barracks alive keeps you alive a lot longer in the game. All creeps are coming in the bottom lane, but it's going to be an engagement towards the mid lane. They're going to find the OD here. Spirit Bear finds him, and it's Lifestealer who's infested inside him. Can he find an opening? And he's going to have to defend bottom. That's the problem. Unless he wants to go chasing on his own, but he doesn't know how many heroes he's running into. And he also... It's going to be first departure. Basically, if no one's defending this range barracks, if they're not pushing out lanes and defending both bottom and mid, it means something is up. It means they're going for a smoke gank or something out of the ordinary. Looking to pull some shenanigans like this Lifestealer infested into the OD. These kind of shenanigans are going to be the way that Gameware try and take this game. And for first departure, they're just looking to avoid any potential clash. You've now had, basically, for Gameware, they rotate 3-4 heroes bottom, they look for some openings, and immediately first departure have 3 or 4 heroes top. We'll see Gameware probably rotate heroes towards the top lane to defend and push things out, and then at least some of these heroes, probably quite a few, rotate towards mid or bottom. They don't want to look for a head-on clash, because that's not going to go favorably for them. As said, this Spirit Bear is very squishy. It's basically a pure glass cannon at this point. It's designed for taking down buildings. It's not going to be able to do a whole lot in team fights unless it goes unnoticed. And there we go. Heroes defending top lane and the rotation towards mid lane. Next we'll probably see towards bottom lane. There's OD. He's hoping that someone TP's bottom, or at least comes bottom to push this out. It's not coming though right now. He's circling near the Roshan pit saying, yeah, there's probably some heroes nearby. He doesn't know exactly where. Oh, they're pinging him. I think there was a purple ping. Did they actually spot him there? Not going to be the case. And OD force the TP back. Surge coming out on him. He wants to find a way to go in here, but it's a huge stalemate. It's a big standoff. I mean, it's basically Gameware daring them to come in for a push, and it's first departure saying, eh, no, not really. And also Gameware daring them like to farm these side lanes. I mean, bottom lane was being left open. OD was trying to camp it with the Lifestealer inside of him, but no one's taking the bait. And the stalemate will continue. The standoff. It's still a slight gold lead going the way of the Radiant side, but when you're looking at 56, 57 minutes in, a 5-6k gold lead is absolutely nothing. That's very negligible. Have a look at the net worth, as that's going to be a lot more meaningful here. And well, it's Lone Druid and Storm Spirit who are leading the charts. Lone Druid, not the ideal late game carry, as said, because in a team fight, this Spirit Bear is very squishy. It's one of those sort of misconceptions about Lone Druid. He's got 12 item slots, but he's not a great late 60-minute plus hero. For team fights, at least. He's great for obviously backdooring and doing a lot of damage fast to buildings, but the problem is, this Spirit Bear, you can't really tank it up much more. It's sitting on 2700 HP, and it is something that you can bring down pretty quickly if you send it in sort of unnecessarily in the front lines. At this point, you almost need to go for some damage-dealing items, or at least sort of survivability items on your main hero. Get something even like a butterfly. Help get some evasion to help deal with both lifesteal as well as OD. I think evasion on this Lone Druid, even a Heaven's Halberd to help him out, could definitely go quite a long way. Heaven's Halberd on a lot of these heroes, when you're up against an OD dealing damage, they should all deal with some... Wow. Late game Shadowblade play coming out of the OD. He's really looking to be sneaky. He sells his 4-staff and goes for a Shadowblade. There's a gem up on Lena. Oh, Lone Druid. Trying to get this range racks. He's trying to stay in range. Needs to get a bit closer. We'll get a bit closer. Looks like this should be enough. Lone Druid coming on through. They're going to swing towards the top lane now. I think First Departure can smell blood. They think they maybe have this. OD trying to go in the front lines, but you can't really go Shadowblading in when there is a Lena with a gem. I mean, this is, as far as late game Shadowblade goes, I'm not convinced by this. Shadowblade up on the Lone Druid. He's just being a complete and utter menace. There's your late game Lone Druid items. It's not just OD. This is the first game where I've seen, like, at 57 minutes in, 2 heroes on different teams decide to buy Shadowblades. Ouch. That was painful. 2-shotted. Lena gets 2-shotted. But it's all for the greater good. It's all for the greater good. At top lane, we have got Darkseid trying to defend valiantly against this push. Lone Druid's actually at bottom lane trying to actually just go for some more backdoor action. He could just go for tier 4 towers here. Yeah, it's a damage dealing machine. Lifesteal's trying to go for the hero, but he's going to Ghost Scepter. He's also going to Shadow Blade if he needs it. Top lane, meanwhile, the Darkseer Wall of Replica is going to slow down this push, but this is just such a crazy game. What am I watching? Shadow Blades on carries all over. OD is going to try to bring down this Lone Druid. He has going to Shadow Blade himself up, but there is a gem, I believe, on the Darkseer still. Lone Druid immediate buyback. He's also got Boots of Travel if need be. He resummons his bear as well. Needs to go into ulti form. He's probably just deciding where does he want to TP into. It's going to be the mid lane. And this top lane's already taken quite a bit of damage. The tier 3 tower down very low, and both ranged racks are destroyed. That's a big achievement for this Radiant team. Obviously not as important as the melee barracks is, but at this point you need to kill those off. OD buys a Blink Dagger as well. It's all mobility coming out from YOLO. He's no longer got the Aegis, he's got Blink and Shadow Blade. What were you thinking with this Shadow Blade? It was something sort of cute and clever, but I don't know about it. There's no more gem up on the Radiant team. Lina doesn't buy a new one. I maybe on cooldown, but doesn't buy a new one. He goes blinking and finds the Storm Spirit with the lifesteal. This is the kind of pickups they need to get time and time again, and Lone Druid not in position to go for any sort of a backdoor. Storm Spirit, he's dead, but he has buyback. He's going to try to save this, because he knows they're in no rush to end this game. They're up 4 Raxes, they can just siege them. This is just going to be a continual siege, and when you're sieging, you just want to be as conservative as possible. So he's going to save his gold. They're not in any rush to sort of keep applying pressure. It's just like, okay, let's wait. And then when we can, we'll look to apply more pressure. And it's going to be the Radiant team who probably get this next Roshan. It's going to be really hard for Gameware to get this Aegis and Cheese. Because these lanes are being pushed out. There we go. Another gem being picked up by Lina. Or possibly the same gem actually just being... I think he came back over here. So he may have just gone there to pick up that gem. Oh, Dire team. There's a ward there. Oh, Lina. Lina. There's a blink and a sheep. 2-shotted. Last time it was 2. This time it's 3. Good on you, Lina. You lasted an extra hit. Last time there was the Shadow Blade damage, which I think was why it was 2 shots. Did he leave the gem on the ground? Yeah, he left the gem on the ground. OD, man. You have this late game Shadow Blade, you want to kill gems. Like, it's that small thing. It takes an extra 2 or 3 seconds, but you've got to kill those gems. YOLO just, I mean, living life on the edge. At least staying true to his name to a certain extent. The Lone Druid Shadow Blade. What is going on? I'd love to see some more Shadow Blades. Let's just get like 5 or 6 Shadow Blades at 60 plus minutes. Darkseer can get one to help him get in a good position for a Wall of Replica. Did Puck find the gem? Did they pick it up? It's still sitting there. Storm. Just flies like halfway out of the base. He hasn't got a ton of mana regen. Because of only having 3 Bloodstone charges, and well, they scout at the gem. This is huge. Like, I mean, I say huge. This could be actually like a game-deciding factor. Whether Lina has a gem or not can make a big impact on this game. Storm Spirit picks it up. I love how he goes flying out for it. They're so scared of this OD Blink Dagger. OD has a blink now, and it's like, okay, there's a gem. Is the gem bait? I think they thought the gem was bait. They're like, OD's just like camping nearby. They leave the gem here. OD waits like over here and just blinks in when they go for the gem. I think that's kind of the line of thought that this Radiant team had, because they sent Storm Spirit flying in and then flying back just to pick up the gem. The gem wasn't for him. He passed it over to the Lina. Oh, Lina. Another gem. Kill the gem for once. Kill the gem, please. Please kill the gem, OD. For the greater good. He takes out both supports. He's going to TP out. Meanwhile, they have to deal with the defense side, because Lone Druid, he's got his Shadow Blade. He's looking to push things out. Darks are going to drop a Wall of Replica. Not really the best late game spell up against a split push. If they're team fighting, sure, but this is all about split push. Rubik taking a ton of damage here. Going to get brought down by the Puck, but Puck going to take a fall if he's not careful. He's going to Ethereal Blade out of this one. Not going to last him for long. Elsewhere, it's only Storm Spirit and the Lone Druid alive. This is absolutely insane. I can't believe when I'm watching. This is one of the clowniest games I've seen. But, I mean, as far as... I say clowny, but this is some high-level play. I mean, the actual theory going into this is very clever. Picking up these Shadow Blades makes sense. As Shadow Demon disconnects as well again. If only we didn't have pauses. The amount of farm on some of these heroes as well. Boots of Travel all over. Shadow Blades all over. This is true late-game Dota. The problem is, Gameware have not come close to pushing. They haven't left their side of the map in the last 30 minutes. They've been on their side of the map for the last 30 minutes of this game. Reconnect coming in from the Shadow Demon. Didn't take him too long. Tier 2 towers are still up. Gameware, I imagine, the gold graph is... it's actually still pretty favourable for him. I mean, 5k has sort of been where it's been at for such a long, long time. It is really, this is like 30-minute mark, it reached 5k, and this is all very, very even. It's fluctuated by about 2.5k, but it has been very steadily, well, steadily not moving, if that makes any sense. And Roshan, up once again. I mentioned the Radiant team would probably get this. I think that's where the Radiant team messed up. They forced the issue a bit too much, and the problem is now, oh, well now we have a keeper light getting caught out. Storm Spirit will bring him down, and there's your gem. Actually gets destroyed. Oh man, there's a gem. Lena found it. Stop giving gems away, OD. You've got this Shadow Blade. You want to make use of this Shadow Blade. Oh man. Where's the Aegis actually been passed to? Lifesteal with Aegis. Cheese on the Darks here. So OD's living life on the edge here. He's going to have buybacks. Entirely relying on his buybacks. And well, Storm Spirit, you in trouble. Blink and Hex. Oh, he's going to walk right into him. He goes flying in. Can he fly? Oh, quick reactions coming out from Oh My Homies. He needed that. He uses up all his mana to fly out of there. As said, if this is a Storm Spirit with 20 Bloodstone charges, this game is a whole lot easier for the Radiant side. But it's not, and as a result, he's chewing through a lot of his mana every time he looks to do something. And oh, Lena. The gem is still there. OD is searching, but I mean, if he finds the Lena, if he runs into the Lena, he can insta-kill the Lena. The problem is if there's a 5-man group up from the Radiant team. If they don't have a gem and he runs into 5 heroes, he can say, okay, let's run away. But if they've got a gem, they see him. Oh, OD. He gets hit by... No, he doesn't get hit by Shadow Poison, as he's Shadow Bladed. Buto travel out. Oh, Lena gonna get the stun off! There's a Lifestealer inside of him. He's going to be stuck here on this side of the map now. Going to hex up the Lena. This split push is going to come. Lone Druid knows OD can't defend. OD has no TP, Lifestealer has no TP. These two heroes are completely stuck on the wrong side of the map. They can't defend. This is really the big issue here. They're going to kill off the Shadow Demon, but look at this. Lone Druid's going to go in. He's going to look to get some racks here. Glyph is going to get forced out. Darkseer is going to have to basically do some hero defense here. The creeps are in mid lane, but Lone Druid's not going for this. He's not taking the chance. Oh, no, he may look to do so still. His Spirit Bait gets scouted out. This will be at least a tower. Telekinesis needs to be used. I say at least a tower. He's not even going to get a tower. Oh, Lone Druid, he's caught out. He's overstepped his boundaries. He has got buyback if need be. He's actually just going to look to suicide for this. Is there any stuns? Is there any disables? Meanwhile, Puck, what are you doing, Puck? That is not your base. He gets out of there somewhere. I don't know exactly what he's doing. They're trying to bring down this Spirit Bear. A couple more right clicks is going to be needed. OD ignores it. He decides to go back and help defend. Elsewhere, Storm Spirit. He's got a Linken's up. This Linken's is going to help so much deal with this Obsidian Destroyer. As it's going to force him to go for an Astral, then a Hex. And in the time it takes him to cast an Astral, you can fly away. You're not going to get insta-hexed and killed. Essentially, it basically means he can't hex you. Unless you have slow fingers as a Storm Spirit, you're not going to get hexed by this OD.
Over here now.
I like how someone pointed out in the... I'm glad I just tabbed out to read my chat. There's cheese on Darkseer, there's cheese in the Roshan pit. Thank you, chat, for letting me know. Wow. This game just continues to deliver entertainment at its best. This is like TNT. We know drama. There's that Miracle. Well, he's got 5k gold, but at this point, heroes are not buying anything unless they sell a buyback. And as far as drama goes, leaving this gem on the playing field has definitely caused a lot of drama for this OD. Or at least for my sake. Maybe he's not worried about it. Shadow Blade's in. Sentry wards all over the map. They're just looking for heroes. They know that this Radiant side's spending a lot of time just spending around this jungle. Lifesteal, what's he picked up lately? Assault Caress? Ooh, Puck gonna immediately phase shift. Gonna see Lifesteal actually pop out here. Linken starts to get popped. He's there. Second sheep. They got the sheep on the OD. OD just needs to buy back here. He's gonna die. He's gonna buy back. Lifesteal needs to. He's got buyback as well. He's also got an Aegis. OD gonna look to come on in. Lena's actually already dropped. Where's the gem? The gem is on the ground. Lubby. He's not going to pick it up. He does have a TP scroll he could drop as well as a magic one. They need this gem if they want to see this OD coming in. He's now on the run. Storm Spirit flying in, looking for this Lifesteal. Has he got rage? He does do so. And with this Puck taking a ton of damage. Problem is, OD, I think he was dealing with this Lifesteal. Lifesteal was going for some backdoor action. Forced to back off. Lifesteal, sorry, not Lifesteal. Lone Druid was going for the backdoor action. Lifesteal now in the top lane. He's getting silence up. Can't actually rage out of this. He's also sheeped on top of that. Taking a ton of damage. He goes down. Immediate buyback coming his way. Lone Druid still hasn't managed to find a way in. He is going to Shadow Blade. He's going to go for these tier 4 towers, I think. The Get Raxes. Oh no, he backs off. He chickens out. It's a game of chicken, and OD is winning it at top lane. GoSceptor being popped from Lubby. OD, he's going to get purged up. This is something that is a great late game support. The Shadow Demon, he can purge through BKB. Puck going to try. Oh no, OD! One more right click, not going to happen. Puck blinks out. Lone Druid, meanwhile, still going for some backdoor. This game is just in two places at once. You've got the Lone Druid trying to endlessly backdoor, and you've got the rest of the Radiant team trying to endlessly distract heroes. Lone Druid, well, the gig is up. He's going to go down. He immediately buys back, and well, this is pretty much the game plan. The Radiant team, it's as simple as this. Lone Druid, endlessly try to backdoor. Other four heroes, endlessly try to distract. Lina has been throwing gems at the Dire team just to distract them. They're also apparently trying to throw cheese at them. They're like, hey guys, there's a cheese in Roshan pit, go and get it. And while they're picking up the cheese, that's when the Radiant team will strike and get this last set of Raxes. But we're now 69 minutes into this game, and well, they've taken 2 lanes, but First Departure cannot take the 3rd lane. They cannot take these tier 4 towers. They're really unable to find the opening, basically any way to break through. They've all got buybacks. I mean, they're not really in a danger of losing this game right now, not anytime soon. Well, Lone Druid is buyback on cooldown, but Puck's got buyback goals, as does the Storm Spirit, I imagine. And none of those on cooldown, so it's just Lone Druid has to be careful. So for the Radiant team at this point, it's play safe until Lone Druid's buyback no longer on cooldown. Then we look to go for another suicide backdoor. Absolutely insane game right now coming out from these two teams. Gameware, well, they're up 35 kills to 24, but they're in all sorts of trouble right now. Heaven's Halberd up on the Darkseer, all this evasion. This is something the Radiant team haven't picked up on, and I think that would be fantastic against an OD. Having evasion. Even the not just OD, but Lifestealer as well. And once again, it's this 4-1 split. 4 heroes top, trying to distract. Lone Druid, well, he's gonna stay bottom. He's not going too aggressive with this push, because look at this. OD's searching for him. He searches the trees. This is looking for the Lone Druid. He's thinking, where the hell is he? Not going to find him. Oh, there's an Observer Ward. He gets spotted out. Is there a gem? I think Lifestealer had a gem. Lifestealer has a gem. He's going to find this Lone Druid. Lone Druid has no buyback. He does have a GoSceptor. Can they bring him down in time? They have to get back to defend. Is there even a TP scroll on some of these heroes? They have got Boots of Travel. Tier 3 tower is already down. The Rax is going to be glyphed up, and here comes the counter initiation. Lifestealer and OD in the front lines. They're looking to bring down Puck. They succeed. Puck has buyback. Lone Druid does not. Saturday uses a clip. Tears him apart, as well as Shadow Demon. They're dropping one by one. Meanwhile, the backdoor is actually coming from the Puck. Puck taking Lone Druid could not. He takes out the tier 4 towers. They're thrown now bare, naked. 2 heroes are down. Storm Spirit and Puck the only ones left standing, and it's all on this Puck to keep on the pressure. Keep this bottom lane. Do what Lone Druid cannot, because he is now down and out of the picture for a good couple of minutes. 2.5 minutes out. And OD, oh, he's jumped on the Puck. Puck has no buyback as well. Oh my gosh, the throws. Can you imagine the throws? Pelosin, true to his name. Oh my gosh. We now have 3 heroes on the sidelines. A naked throne, and a 5-man push going down mid lane. I imagine we see Lifestealer pick up some Boots of Travel of his own soon. He hasn't got buyback though, so I think they just go all in mid. Where's the Storm Spirit? Can he get to this throne? Can he look to go for some backdooring? It doesn't look like it. He's trying to push top. There's a Sheepstick on this Darkseer, but the problem is, well, he's got this Linken's. He can block it. And Yang Mi is just looking to basically slow down his push. He's not too worried. Well, he's not looking to really commit for this kill. He actually breaks it using his Sheepstick. He's got a Heaven's Halberd in there as well, and here comes the push. Mid lane, this is what we should be watching. Although nobody's actually defending. Storm Spirit just goes flying up. He's actually going to TP back now. Knows he has to defend. And here comes, well, Darkseer. Boots of Travel are up, so he's now in the fight. He's also got a Wall of Replica and Lone Druid. He's about to respawn. There's no Puck though. And this is what I've been saying, Lone Druid cannot teamfight. His Spirit Bear just is too damn squishy really to teamfight effectively. He's great at backdooring, he's got huge DPS, but he's so bad at teamfighting, and oh my homie, Storm Spirit in the front line taking a lot of damage. He's looking to just throw his life on the line. If he has to die to save this game, fantastic, because he's got buyback. He's the one hero who has buyback right now, and they're just trying to buy time for Puck to get back. Try and get this Lone Druid doing some damage. Spirit Bear on the front lines, they need to just try and burst that down, because as said, it's very, very squishy. Finally, some Raxes have been taken. Lifestealer taking a lot of damage. Is doing a bit of armlet toggling here. It looks like they're going to back off. They don't want to go for this. Storm Spirit goes flying in. No, not GoSceptor. Shadowblade keeps the Obscene Destroyer alive. He's got buyback if need be, and he's going to go in from behind. He's going to try and take down Hoot. He gets sheeped up himself. That's going to be enough to bring down the OD. OD going to go down. Hoot taking a lot of damage, but not enough. Buybacks are plenty. 1-2 buybacks. Darkseer as well as OD. And now we see another siege coming out from the Radiant team, perhaps. The Radiant team, they hold. They lose just a melee barracks, and The gem. Where's the gem? I see pings on gems. Roshan being pinged as well. Aegis about to come back, and that's what the Radiant team want. Deny their opposing team. If they get the Aegis, they suicide. They suicide for a throne. It's going to be so hard to prevent them from getting thrown. Darkseer Ultimate is the one thing that could maybe help prevent them getting thrown, but I don't think they know when Roshan's respawning. They scattered out just now that it wasn't there, and they're kind of like, okay, let's just back off. We've got to split push. We've got to go back to the game plan. Split push is the game plan. So they're not going for Roshan right now with it not there, and it respawns now, and, well, Radiant team don't realize this. Or at least they're backing off because they're scared. This late game Shadowblade OD is wreaking havoc all over. Lifestealer, any boots of travel on him? Nope, he's sticking to TP scrolls. He had to buy back that fight, so he's in all sorts of trouble if he goes down. All of this Dire team with no buyback. The 3 key heroes are at least Darkseer, OD, and Lifestealer, no buybacks. So I think the next 3 or 4 minutes, well, we're back to passive Dota. We're back to, at least for Gameware. Gameware have to defend. They're not going to be looking to push out. The riskiest thing they can look to do is take Roshan. But if the Radiant team is smart, they get Roshan themselves. They really should be looking to go in. Oh, OD and Lifesteal. They found the low druid once again. Has he got buyback? He does. Are we going to see it come out right away? Doesn't look like it. They could look to go into the Roshan pit here. Roshan is back online. Are they going to go into the pit? It doesn't look like they will. They decide against it. Radiant Ward is going to spot these heroes in the mid lane. And now they're just going to go in, jump in on top lane. Oh, Darkseer. He's found Pelos in the puck. He's on his own though. He's just looking to push this out. Stormstrip meanwhile does take out the Rubik. Rubik caught it out all in no man's land. And Yang Mi, what are you doing? You have no buyback. Oh, big losses. 2 heroes on the Gameware side, and Lone Druid buys back. He sees 2 heroes dead and knows this is a time where he can actually look to push. And OD is all on his own. He's got to make something happen. He's going to go blinking, and BKB going to get popped here. Oh, defensive disruption. Lubby, some great timing on that. It's going to help keep Puck alive, and OD Sanity's a clip. It's not going to do enough damage. OD's going to get grouped up. OD gets focused down. This is the beginning of the end. Well, the end of the end, as we should be saying. 75 minutes in, GG's being called. Gameware can hold no longer, and Lone Druid finally succeeds in backdooring to victory. Blinding Light going to give him some extra misses, slow down the push. What a game coming out from Gameware, and first departure in our 3rd place decider here in the GosuCup Asia. I'm out of breath. I'm out of energy. Oh, that was absolutely insane. I can't believe the amount of craziness that we just encountered. Check out those stats. 75 minutes and a half it took, but we got there. First departure come out on top in game number 1. We're going on to game number 2 of our 3rd place decider, and then we've got the grand finals. Then we've got Orange versus Myth Trust. It's all coming up in the GosuCup Asia here on Beyond the Summit TV. I'm Beyond the Summit's God. I am at BTS God on Twitter. You can check me out, follow me there. Let's get excited. Let everyone know some awesome games going on here in the GosuCup, and we'll be back soon with more live action soon in your game number 2 of your 3rd place decider.